There we go, recording. Video. Audio. Hello, this is Guluk Budai of, may look like Guluk Budai to you. The Black Jester of the Black Jester Matters podcast. Episode 69, because I can't get past that. And, we're talking about something I was talking about feminism before there were podcasts everywhere. I was and videos and stuff on my website back when I first started the comedy site, and or a comedy site. And once said I was responding to my feminist viewers where they asked me, do I think women should be, naked and barefoot and pregnant, or was it pregnant and barefoot in the kitchen? That's it. That's the old question. I said, no, it's cruel. Tiles can get your feet cold. You should definitely have socks on. And I'm sure that wasn't too amusing to a lot of them. Where am I going with this? Well, it's a matter of being a man within your own power, I guess. Not totally MGTOW nonsense, or I don't know, MGTOWs like people who got taken in divorce court for a lot more money than they ever expected, or I guess like me, lied to severely by lots of women. Everything's a learning step, though, and I'm going to start with a COVID prayer. Patrick Henry, I share a birthday with him. It says, it's a quote, is life so dear, or peace so sweet, as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death. It's Patrick Henry, March 23rd, 1775. It's important, and a very important statement made before the revolution really took off. A year before the imagine how long that took. I mean, they declare, he makes that speech, and then a year later they have the Tea Party, and by 1787 they actually have a constitution and things like that. Anyway, that's a good quote to think about when it comes to the COVID factor. And really, is life so dear that we need to be locked down and shut out? Yet, I mean, it's bad enough. I mean, being a comedian is bad enough. Well, back when before the internet mobs, I mean, I was being B-listed, and that was kind of cooling down a bit, and then COVID hit. And as far as I know, the clubs aren't open. I kind of have to wear a mask while I do the comedy. How the hell do you do comedy wearing a mask in? Or comedy's basically become a bunch of Zoom meetings. Can't do that. Yeah, so whatever, I digress. I was seeing some people, they give a lot of advice about relationships. I was saying, who hasn't made a Baboon? He collides. Actually, we have it better if we take the Baboons, especially I often hear that women are the sexual selectors. You know how many beautiful women there are out there? Lots. Imagine choosing from them based on that, and really, I mean, when they're not talking to you, that's all you're got to look at. I mean, granted, I wouldn't mind being a collector. um, so, yeah, there are lots. I mean, and as far as alpha males go, that's a little less. There's a lot of soy out there. There's a lot of soy drinkers out there that are just getting it out of it's just like floating out of their pores. They practically almost have milky-eyed uh, um, irises. It's terrible. There's a lot of estrogen in those males. I mean, once I saw a guy, I was walking down the street downtown, unthreateningly, and he sees me, and he puts the woman in front of her. Part of me kind of thought, okay, maybe I'll just grab her and walk away. What's he gonna do? Hide behind another woman? But then I thought, she kind of deserves that fucker. Really? Of all the men out there, you decide to, because he was the one who would beg you for it, or he was the one to do anything for you for it, you ended up with the guy who hides behind a woman, hides behind you, uses you as a fucking shield just in case he doesn't like the way you look or something. He doesn't look like... That's just disgraceful. So, I mean, that's the real raw power. It's not really money-making ability or anything like that. It's all about whether or not you can defend the pride. If you can't defend the pride, you'll never be that. You'll never metamorphosize from that baboon up in the top of the tree into this lion-like figure. The family and all that. So there's some stubble there, huh? Got weird. My hair is... I don't know if it's a hormonal thing. My hair has been very, very resentful of being cut lately. On my face, anyway. So yeah, I mean... So, I mean... If a man isn't treating you too well, you probably just settled. Well, I wouldn't want a woman to settle. That's probably why I have a lean towards a polyamorous view. Mostly because, if I care about somebody more than one person, why would I want them to be alone? Or picking soy boys out? Anyway, the baboon up on the top of the tree. In human terms, I mean, we kind of start with you start at the top of the tree, waiting for someone with the courage to come up to you, essentially, climbing up that tree, to be worthy. Is similar to this biblical passage in Matthew. It's about the wedding party, I think. I always pull out the Bible over there and read it, but it's near the 10 talents, which is another very good one, actually. It's a good parable. But it refers to all these women. They show up at this bridal party for this man, presumably he's marrying them all, except for this one who didn't bring her own oil, which means, I guess, it's somewhat meaning. The meaning behind it is she's not bringing her own love, or maybe it's Matthew's actually literally being crude and saying she's not wet for the guy. She's expecting just to go along with the party, and she's dry, and she expects the other women to pitch in for share their emotion and whatnot, sharing sharing the love they won't show him. She doesn't want to show the love, and the others do, and she can't expect to have him or get married unless. Now I know what you're thinking. You're saying it could be her, but no. If you're looking in the context of Matthew, because this is just after Matthew 9. Was it Matthew 9 or is it 9? Matthew 19. It's after Matthew 19, and I'm not going to go there. If we're going to talk about that parable, it's going to be kind of stuck with that 19 thing. Just going to stick to the one thing, and this is mostly about the breeding factor anyway. I mean, talk about the guy, the twinks that I'd probably bang if given the chance, but, that's a whole other story. I don't consider it on the same level. Even if it's just fine to do, I don't consider it on the same level, personally. It's not like the plausibility of breeding and stuff like that. Even if you're unlucky with infertility, the general norm would be that you would be able to interface with someone of the opposite gender, because that's the whole purpose of it, and have a kid. Some people have run into shit luck with that, but even when they try to do it right. That's why I don't put them on the same plane. I mean, they're both probably a lot of fun, but I don't put it on the same plane. I mean, like if I had like two bras, let's say, and they're both very important to me, firstborn son would kind of rise one woman up a little bit higher in that pride situation. I got a code for these things, just in case. Because, let's just say, I don't buy into romanticism. I think it's a bit of crap. Romance is what men use. Romance is what men. Romance is what guys use to sleaze their way into someone's pants. That's what romance is. It's bullshit. It's a way to grease the wheels. That's romance. It's insincere. Totally insincere. So I don't even believe men should hit on women. They should be up on the tree. We're lucky in the Baboon, by the way. If you're up on just hang around waiting for the broad weight. I mean, you got video games. You got books. You got shit you can do outside. You got causes. You can, and you got sperm that outlast their eggs. I mean, God, why are you so crazy? And damn, bang a. If you want to be a man, and be with a guy, be a top, blow it in a twink. There's no harm in that. Perfectly acceptable birth control. But what we have is So, where was I? Yeah, well, so, waiting up in the top of the tree, well, in human terms, means you got the man cave to hold those things off, largely. Distract yourself and so on like that. You also got a John nearby, too. That needs to be dealt with. And basically, you probably want, you're going to get a crazy chick if you hit them on, and you're probably going to be acquiescing and begging for it if you hit on a woman. Hitting on a woman is already kind of begging for it. It's a lot better if they're hitting on you. So I also thought, maybe this was a feminist, they thought, feminists wanted women to have the charge to hit on men. No. Because I think it was the Temperance League that originally got convinced men that they have to kneel down. Oh, God, kneeling before a woman? Can you believe that? Really? How do you feel manly kneeling in front of a woman? How do you... you're going to... if you can't feel your balls on the concrete, you might know why. Granted, largely it's cultural stuff that people bought into, so it doesn't make them terribly manless, but the whole idea of this romantic crap about kneeling before a woman is like, I understand the chivalrous attitudes of defending a woman's honor or defending a woman or a lady. But I think it was the Temperance League that created this notion that you should kneel before a woman and ask for her hand. You originally would ask the father's hand, but father's been alienated from a lot of their kids, so that tradition sort of... But even there, that was a sort of a monarchical thing. Win the joust or win the princess type deal. But, so great, yeah. It's, not a, ideal. It's not ideal to be kneeling and grovelly about it and chasing down tail. It's like, you have to, they should ask the man. Especially since a lot of men, are big guys. You want to be pretty sure they're consenting out of more than just fear. That you might not like the word no. I can press a woman against a wall and say, come on, honey. And did she say yes because I'm over 6 feet tall and got wide shoulders and I'm pretty, well, maybe even the swarthy part does apply, especially if you're Beverly D'Angelo. You want to be pretty sure of consent, especially if she's going to be consenting to basically doing what she's told. Yes, you heard me. Doing what she's told. Possibly begging for it. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, I mean, she's it may seem a bit awkward to do those things. You see how people are a lot that way. I mean, by the way, ever been on? I mean, women worry about men becoming gay or something like that, or being gay. I mean, just has to be on Grindr for a few minutes, and ugh, Grindr is almost enough to make you totally straight. Oh, it's this. It's like, you wanna fuck, you wanna fuck, you wanna fuck. Shouldn't be about fucking. Why is it all about fucking? It's just ridiculous. People just so eager to bang. Why not? Shouldn't you have some sort of proper committal? Doesn't have to be marriage necessarily, it could be a contract. But why the hell would somebody just go bang? You at least have like a code to agree on what sort of things you're willing to do, what sort of things that you're demanding, what sort of things they're willing to accept in relation to that and stuff like that. If you can agree on that code, that way of life or way of existing together, then you have something. She, it's like, even whether it's a woman or a twink or whatever, they've got to be doing the crawl on, essentially. They got to be doing they got to make the move, or else you're gonna get some bimbo like Tommy Lauren thinking that she's like, oh, I'm the greatest thing in the world. Why can't a man just take it? I mean, fuck that. Who the hell wants to do that? I mean, a lot of people are just banging and marrying who they're working with now. I was heard of the company Ink Rule. Apparently it's not in play anymore. It's kind of a weird thing to see adjacent to Me Too movement. Which is another issue, I guess. The fact that Me Too crap. I think it's sort of... Someone accuses me of that stuff, and I'm like, whatever, can you prove it? Move on with my day. Because... Why would you give accusations like that so much attention? Why would you care if you're not actually doing it? I mean, that's the first sign that you might have something to investigate. Is like when someone's going, "Well, I didn't do it. I didn't do it." It's just enough to say, "Whatever." That's what you say. Prove it. That's all that takes. I'm gonna take a whole bunch of drama. Be a fucking man about it. I'm saying being a fucking man, and I can't take a little chamomile tea down the throat. Gag issue. I know I had to be a top because I got a gag reflex. By the way, women, the best way to ask a man if they've got a big dick is they tell them to squeeze their fist and say, "Do you ever see the head?" Then you're in. Then you'll know. It would just depend on the size of the hand after at that point. How much more do you see coming out of there? It's generally speaking, don't do measure. Well, I don't. I used to think it was small because my hand was big. Right to that, I was like judging it by my own hand that way. Like, that's a little. Of course, I saw it poking out of it, but full. Yeah, that's another thing entirely. Felix isn't wagging his tail. That's not good. A little bit. I wouldn't mind moving around a bit. Therefore, pardon me. How rude. Oh. God, getting that meal tasty good. Yeah, so if you have some soy-sucking freak who decided to basically beg you for it, maybe you shouldn't be surprised if a man's hiding behind you when it gets nasty. Maybe you shouldn't be surprised at all. Maybe you should tell him, "Oh honey, I'll be your human shield forever." And then he can feel, and just put it out there, like saying you're looking for a human shield, not looking for a man. And no, wait a minute, no, you're looking to be a human shield, not looking for a man. That's I mean, because really, when it goes down to it, I mean, you could be poor as shit, but you should at least have a man who's willing to take a few bullets for you, knives, whatever, to keep you safe, to fight for you. Not just because you say, "Oh, he's bothering me in a bar," but, stand up for your honor when it's necessary. Not because you decide to start a fight, take advantage of it. That would end up falling into serious simp behavior, if they fall for it enough times, anyway. I mean, man's also got to know when he's being taken for granted. But I imagine if you're going to put out the effort to get him away from his daily diversions, to possibly think about family life, then maybe you will actually deserve the defense and protection that he's capable of. And that's the thing, right? He should it's important to be like that. It's important a man be ready to protect his pride. Before he can be that lion, he has to be that baboon, willing to wait at the top of the tree. And the woman has to be there, willing to go up for it. It's not exactly something I etch into a law, of course, but it is a sort of nature of our being. It's it's a way to narrow down and make sure you're not, getting crap kicked out of you because the guy essentially let you peg him and beat him at the same time. Himself, so hell, he deserved it too. I mean, I always see these progressive men, they're getting beaten up and people are feeling sorry for them. Oh, they're getting crap kicked out of them. Oh, they're getting crap from the woman. Oh, yeah, but they decided to be progressive men. Well, they decided to be progressive. Of course, progressive is a word that can mean anything you really want it to, so I don't know why I use that. It's a stupid term for a political position. But all it means is something is moving in one direction, not necessarily any specific direction. But, yeah, I mean, Broadway Joe's still alive. Yeah, so I don't want to keep on harping on the same tone throughout this whole podcast scenario. But yeah, I'm usually more fun of listening than I am talking, so I try not to get bored with the notion of speaking about these things. But I'm not an MRA, I'm not a MGTOW especially. I mean, I sympathize with some things they say. I'm just saying, be a man and want a man, and you shouldn't have any problems. I mean, got to, I mean, even a man-child can be still a man. Can you believe that? I mean, it's just, a man won't leave. A man won't leave. As I say, a man can essentially have that wedding party and still always be there for those women. So a man isn't necessarily leaving because he's got multiple women. Men usually leave because he lies to himself and says, "Oh, I'll never cheat," and stuff like that. And one day he ends up doing it and hiding it and deceiving. So you think about this wedding party scenario, they all know about each other. They also know the one that's not true. And they ain't sharing with that one. That's so yeah, I mean, Polly or Biggie or Mono, whatever the gamist is, still gotta be a man protecting the pride. Still need a woman who seeks out that sort of man. And actually goes seeking them out, asking them. approaching them. Largely, they're going to be the most unapproachable looking people because they probably got the crap kicked out of themselves in life. Life kicks their ass a lot. And that's probably a good thing, because that means they had the character that made them into a man. They're not whining and bitching about every fucking injustice that happened to them. I mean, well, they might whine and bitch about it, but they don't make it, it doesn't stop them from trying to pursue their life, pursue their causes, and, or be there for someone who is dedicated to them. And feelings is still, I've got to, must be on the wrong angle or something. Oh well. This is connected to the clock. I know it's ticking. It's probably when you don't try to sleep. So, yeah. I mean, always keep in mind, your sperm will outlast those eggs. I mean, by the time they want to have interest in you, their eggs are more spoiled than a milk in the sunlight. It's but a good woman won't let that happen. I mean, she's custodial of her own life, creating value. And people will get shot down, of course. But that's an important thing. No one should be settling for anybody. They should be going for the best possible thing. I bet chicks have an eye on me, but I didn't quite respect that. They never say anything bluntly. A lot of women talk around and stuff, and I don't have time to deal with bloody games and wiles. You don't want to get caught up in wiles. That's when you truly get vexed. You want to, wiles is like the nice guy routine of chicks. And that's what causes men to go get chicks and chase chicks. And that's not healthy. Anyway, thanks for listening if you managed to. Like, subscribe, blah, 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 share. We'll let it wherever you're watching this. Probably early, it's probably on something like Minds Plus. And locals or something. Probably a day early, I guess, or 2 days early. Maybe more. Certainly the more immediate uploads. And then, pardon me. Pardon me. Pardon-moi. Anyway, yeah, and have a good night, morning, or whatever.